Hi, I'm Vinny, and this is Vinny's View. I just got done seeing the so-called comedy called Year One, starring Jack Black and Michael Cera. And this movie is, I think it was set, I thought it was set in the Stone Age. It's not really set in the Stone Age. It's set in, I don't know when it was set, but these guys play, Jack Black plays Zed, and Michael Cera plays this guy named O. And O is a gatherer, and Zed's a hunter, and they're obviously these two inept guys who are, just fumbling morons. They get tossed out of their little village because they're just, I don't know, Jack Black ate the forbidden fruit and he gets tossed, so Michael Cera is not far behind him. And they go on this journey to find, I don't know what they're trying to find, but they're trying to find something. Jack Black thinks he's the chosen one, and he's set for some greatness. And they ramble along, and they find that the Earth isn't flat, and there is no end to the Earth, which is a good thing, I guess. They're really excited about that. And then they stumble onto a bunch of people, and they end up basically it's Sodom and Gomorrah, really in Sodom. And it's just a lot of hijinks from there. So they end up in Sodom, and they find out that some of their villagers have been kidnapped, and really the quest for them now is just kind of save them from being slaves and being sacrificed. And they're trying to bring sacrifice to make it rain, and it's that whole deal there. So this is supposed to be a comedy. When a comedy is not funny, is it still a comedy? That's what I want to know. This movie is is not funny at all. And they stumble onto a couple of funny parts because of the people that are in it, because there are some really talented, funny people in this movie. So obviously with this talent, you have to stumble on a few jokes that are funny and a few gimmicks. Michael Cera is funny. He's really just a naturally funny guy. So is Jack Black. They have to stumble on a few of them. But when the closing credits with all the outtakes are funnier than the movie, I think you have a real problem. Okay, so comedy not funny? Is it still a comedy? I don't know. It's funny. Well, not the movie, but it's funny. You have some really talented people in this movie. You have Jack Black, who is funny, and he was really great in a very, very funny movie, Tropic Thunder. I mean, he was great in School of Rock. He's just a naturally funny guy. He's got a few things in this movie, but a real problem with this movie, I think, is that it's set in whenever it's set, and it's year one, whatever the hell that is, but they're all talking like they're on MTV or something. They're all talking with a very modern kind of dialect and dialogue, and that could be funny, but it just didn't work here. I don't understand. But so Jack Black trying his best and doing his mugging and all the stuff that he does, not that funny. Michael Cera, who I think is hysterical, and I loved him in Juno, and he's just wonderful in that terrific movie Juno. Also so great in Superbad, which is really one of the funnier movies that have come out in the last 5 or 10 years. He's just great in that movie, and he actually gets the most laughs for me because he's just a naturally funny kind of I think he's got a soft comic humor to him, but he's funnier than most in this movie, but even he couldn't save this movie. And another thing with the director of this movie is Harold Ramis, and Harold Ramis is a brilliantly funny guy. He directed two of the funniest movies ever made, which is Caddyshack. I love Caddyshack. It's one of my all-time favorite classic comedy. He's also directed Groundhog Day, which is another terrific comedy. He's also been in a lot of great, funny movies. He's been in Stripes, and he's been in Ghostbusters as well. He directed this movie, he wrote the movie, and it's just not funny. It's got to be funny if it's a comedy. Come on, guys. With all this talent in it, you would think it would be reasonably funny. Maybe a more than a few laughs. But that was it. There wasn't that many laughs in this. I mean, you got Oliver Platt in this movie, and he's mildly funny. He has some kind of gross out scenes in the movie. You have some other Paul Rudd makes an little appearance in this movie. But come on, guys, it's got to be funny, and it just wasn't. Really, a great comedy starts with a great idea. Now, I looked at the movie Hangover. I reviewed The Hangover a few weeks ago, and that had a funny, simple idea. And it was such a great movie. And as you can see now, since I reviewed it, it's been about 3 weeks, and ripping up the box office. It's just funny as hell. This movie is actually very complicated, with a complicated story that's not funny. I mean, it's the script is bad, and it relies on a lot of like penis jokes and vomiting, and guys urinating on themselves, and and then you use again with the modern dialect with the Stone Age or whatever age they're in, using that as a contrast. It just doesn't work. So I don't know what why. Okay, so what is this all leading up to? Here's what it's leading up to. If it's not funny, it's not a comedy. Okay, that's the bottom line. So if you want to sit through it to the end and see the closing credits and see the outtakes, there's some funny business, but not funny, not a comedy, okay? It can't all be good, guys. It can't all be good, okay? So I'm Vinny, and that was Vinny's View. Check in with me next week, and hopefully there'll be something better than this. Okay, thanks.